Emotional manipulation only works on people who already have low self-worth because they're more likely to believe the narratives of the manipulator. So anyone who's willing to manipulate your emotions, exploit your insecurities, or use your vulnerabilities against you does not care about your well-being. It's an insidious form of control to play on someone's fears, doubts, or flaws.
So you're sitting there questioning yourself again, wondering if maybe you overreacted, if maybe you made a bigger deal than it really was, if maybe you're too sensitive, too emotional, too complicated to love. Let me stop you right there, babe. That confusion, that shame, that self-doubt, that's not a personality flaw. That is a symptom of something deeper, and it is called emotional manipulation. The cold part is they don't even realize they're doing it, but you feel it every day, okay? Hey, Rych Babes, it's Robin Milan, and welcome back to A Rich Girl's Glow Up. Yes, I am back from my break, y'all. Listen, I had to take a moment. Because it was too much going on. It was transitioning from school, traditional school to summer school. And then I was just recovering from all the, the events, the birthdays, graduations. It was so much going on, y'all. I couldn't show up without just giving myself a restart. I had to just, get things in line and stuff like that. So I'm just so grateful for y'all patience and love. I am back. Yes. Okay. And I'm about to be back a whole lot. All right. So make sure your notifications are on. All right. And let's get into what we got going on today. So we're not talking about the obvious kind of manipulation. This ain't some Lifetime movie where you're being held hostage in the cabin with some obsessive partner. No, this is the subtle kind, the low key, everyday, smooth talking manipulation that sounds like love and support, but feels more like a slow suffocation. It's the I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean it like that. And the you're always being so dramatic. The I love you, right? Right after they emotionally sliced you with their tone, their silence, or their gaslighting. Here's the thing, Rych Babes. They don't even realize it. They don't even realize that it is a manipulation because they've been doing it for so long that they think that it's normal. They think that you are actually the problem. But I'm about to break this all the way down. Okay, period. Do you like my hair? Yes. You like my hair? Yes. I said, let me hurry up and get this done because I know with the rain and then the heat, it's going to be a mess. I'm going to have to put the wig back on. Okay. So let's get right into the videos and I will be back at the end with the rest of my monologue. Okay.
This is how you know when you're being gaslighted. If I can make you question what you know to be true, question your thoughts, question your emotions, because I have undermined your reality so much by denying the facts and what's real and denying your feelings, I am gaslighting you. I am manipulating you into doubting your experience, doubting your memories, so much so that you've replaced your experiences with some fabricated bullshit versions I've fed you. That's what a gaslighter does. Listen, don't ever be manipulated into believing that you are so hard to love, especially coming from somebody who doesn't know how to love anyone. Probably don't even love their damn self.
The wildest part about people thinking you're crazy is that now that I'm removed from a toxic situation, I have no symptoms of quote unquote being crazy anymore. It's like they magically disappeared. Yes, granted, I've gone to therapy and rehab and have healed, but I'm on no medication. I'm on nothing. What was driving me crazy was how I was being treated. Is that I was disillusioning myself to believe that the life that I was having was the one I wanted. I was forcing myself to believe that people who were repeatedly harming me loved me. Like, let's say that again. I was deluding myself into believing that people that were actively harming me repeatedly loved me because they said so, but their actions said the opposite. That would drive anyone fucking crazy when they start to realize and they snap into reality. And that's having complex PTSD in a nutshell. Like, you were crazy technically before because you were living a life contrary to your own happiness, and you're deluding yourself to stay in that relationship or abusive dynamic because it's been perceived as normal, or you just feel like you can't get out of it.
The question was, how do you know if you're being emotionally manipulated by someone if it's really subtle? My response was, although emotional manipulation is very subtle, how you feel as a result is not subtle. So here are some things you might experience if you are being emotionally manipulated. You might feel like you're truly losing your mind a bit or going crazy. This is as a result of their gaslighting. You might walk on eggshells around them to avoid their rage. You might feel as though your emotional experience is constantly being invalidated. They might say things to you like you're being dramatic or you're oversensitive. You might start to feel like your voice isn't important and anything you say is not going to be heard anyway, so you eventually silence yourself. You don't feel like the best version of yourself around them. For example, you might feel on edge, angry, frustrated, constantly stressed, anxious. You might feel like you really want to walk away from this person, but there seems to be a strange magnetic pull towards them that keeps drawing you back in, otherwise known as a trauma bond. And lastly, you might think you love them, but if someone asks you what exactly you love about them, you can't think of anything.
All right, Rych Babes, so let's get right into it. The gaslighting patterns that go undetected. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation designed to make you question your own reality, like your memory and your intuition, but it doesn't always look like you're crazy. Sometimes it look like, I never said that. You must have misunderstood me, right? Or, wow, I didn't know you take it that way. Like, I'm telling you. And now that you're questioning yourself, right? Like, you're wondering if you were too emotional in the situation, wondering if your memory is off. But here's the honest truth. They are not confused. They are comfortable. They are comfortable twisting the reality to protect their own ego, comfortable seeing you doubt yourself because it makes you easier to control. And even if they're not doing it on purpose, it still like wrecks your confidence, your clarity, and also your voice. The second concept is how to respond without giving them control. So when someone manipulates you emotionally, your first instinct is to always try to defend yourself, to explain, to make them see your side, to prove that you are not crazy. But that's when they win, because now you're spiraling, you're draining, you're shrinking. Okay, so instead, respond like this. That's not how I experienced it, period. That's it. I'm clear on what happened. End of story. All right. We're not going to rewrite the situation to protect your comfort. Okay. And stand firm, girl, because I get it. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to, argue to be clear. And sometimes the most powerful thing that you can say is nothing at all and just leave the conversation. The third concept is guilt tripping disguised as vulnerability, right? This one is a little tricky because it sounds like being vulnerable, but it's not. It's weaponized guilt. They'll say things like, oh, I guess I'm not just a bad guy here now, huh? Like what? Like you always make me feel like you can't do anything right? Or, wow, I try so hard and it's still not enough for you. Now you're the one apologizing, consoling, and smoothing things over. So even though you were the hurt one, that's the trick. They turned the focus from what they did into how your emotions actually affected them. And suddenly your boundaries feel like betrayal. So don't fall for that, okay? The fourth concept is that they use silence as punishment. So the silent treatment isn't like mature. It's not maturity. It is a form of emotional punishment. They pull away not to reflect, but to actually control. Okay. You reach out, you apologize just to fix the vibe, right? Like you second guess everything that you said, but they're not silent because they're overwhelmed. They're silent because it works. It keeps you anxious. It keeps you quiet next time. And it teaches you to suppress your feelings to avoid the cold shoulder. And that's not love, that is conditioning. The fifth concept is that they keep the score, but only when you win. They're quick to remind you of what they have done for you, but never acknowledge what you have done for them. Like, after everything I've done for you, wow, I was there when nobody else was. You won't even be in this position without me. That's not love. That is leverage. They keep receipts because they want power. And anytime you start to glow or grow or, or even leave, they pull that emotional ledger to manipulate you. And that's not partnership. That is possession. Like, what? Okay, loves. So let me talk to you. Let me talk to the version of you that is exhausted, right? Not just because of a job, not because of the kids, not because of the world, but because you've been in a relationship, a friendship, a dynamic where your entire sense of self has been slowly picked apart. You were never confused, babe. You were just conditioned. That's it. Conditioned to question yourself, to put their needs first, to avoid conflict at all costs, to seek approval like it was love, to ignore the red flags, out of loyalty, to stay quiet so you wouldn't rock the boat. And now you're drowning. You're silently still showing up. You're still being the strong one, still smiling on social media, still overthinking every word, every text, every interaction, wondering if maybe, just maybe, you're doing too much. So let me just say this with my whole chest. You are not doing too much. They're just used to women who stay silent, okay? Because here's what emotional manipulation does. It creates this loop in your mind where you start questioning, is it me? Am I actually the problem? Did I cause all of this? And instead of leaving the situation, you try to fix it. Instead of walking away, you dig deeper. You change your tone. You watch how you say things. You stop bringing up your feelings and you start to disappear. But babe, disappearing is not peace. It is erasure, right? You didn't heal to become invisible. You didn't survive just to start over in someone else's shadow. You have to make peace with the fact that some people will call you selfish when you stop shrinking. Okay. Some people will say that you've changed when you stop being emotionally available to their manipulation. That some people will also, paint you as the villain because you finally said enough is enough. And let them, because becoming her means protecting your nervous system like it's your bag. It means not explaining, your growth to people who benefited from your smallness. And it also means that you need to be choosing peace over performance. It means detaching from people who loved the broken version of you more than the actual whole one. Okay. So this is your permission slip, okay, to stop second guessing yourself, to start trusting your gut again, to stop rewriting your memories to make someone else's behavior make sense, to call out the red flag as it is, even if it's family, even if they mean well, even if you love them. You're allowed to outgrow people who hurt you on accident. You're allowed to require emotional maturity, not just a vibe. You are allowed to start over without needing to explain why. You are not cold. You are not hard to love. You are just healing in a world that benefits from your confusion. So I need you to stop begging people to see your heart. Okay. I need you to stop convincing people that you're worth, the soft handling. You choose you. Start choosing you. Okay. Start walking away even when it's lonely at first. Start honoring your truth, even if it burns bridges. Start living like the woman that you were meant to be, not the woman that you were trained to become, because the the moment where you stop giving manipulators access to your mind, your emotions, and your energy, this is where everything begins. This is where you become dangerous, okay? Not just because you're going to be cruel or anything, but because more so that you are clear. Clear women don't chase validation. They don't, negotiate, they don't negotiate their respect. They don't stay where they are shrinking. So let them talk, let them, twist the narrative, let them play the victim, but you walk away with your peace, your power, and your purpose. Okay. So let me wrap this all up, honey. So become the woman who walks in a room and make people wonder, secure the bag, protect your peace, and stay rich, rich babes. Love you.